Hello, you're watching Kel67 Gaming. Hopefully this is the fourth of these videos that you've watched. If not, please do go back to 2010 and 2011
And 2012.
And cast your vote for that. So this is our look back at the best games of the decade, and we're up to
2013.
So 2013 was another great year for games. To be quite honest, it's just been a great decade for games when we've been looking back
Yeah.
at it so far. And I'm sure that will continue.
Well, that is hopefully.
Well,
isn't it?
Be a pretty pointless vote if it's
Yes, it would
if
be.
it's
but,
rubbish games. So we're up to 2013.
Yes, and shall we get started then?
We should. I think the first game we'll have to look at, still massively played to this day, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Now, you can. There's obviously tons of updates still for it. If you go on YouTube, you'll probably still see like one of the multiplayer advertisements potentially, and it's also just went on Game Pass.
Well, there you go then. So you got even more players playing it. I actually didn't play it until just this last year.
Where it was on PS Now until January the 1st.
But I don't know why I waited so long to play it. Absolutely brilliant game. Going back to San Andreas as well. There was the thing with the three characters. I'll be quite honest with you. There was one that I didn't particularly like.
I'm guessing that's Trevor.
Aye, Trevor the Hobo. But the other two characters seemed.
Michael and Franklin.
They seemed okay. And the technical jump from Grand Theft Auto 4 to this one is just massive. And I know that if we're going to be pedantic about this, it wasn't a technical jump from GTA 4, it was actually a jump from LA Noire and Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
And the jump from them isn't quite so great. It's still a far better game. Well, technically it's a far better game. Whether it's a far better game as far as gameplay and story goes, that's for everyone else to decide. But I loved it. Absolutely loved the game. I don't know how much you've played, but it's not just the game itself. The whole online scene as well.
Yeah, I've played a bit of the online scene and that, and there's just tons of stuff you can unlock there. And obviously you get your businesses, your cars and your guns and all your outfits and that. So it's actually pretty good online as well.
Well, it wasn't apparently when it first launched. Apparently it was a mess when it first launched.
But if you try it now, obviously it is really
Well, they
good.
put a lot of resources in it, and it's the reason that we didn't get our 2 storyline expansions. So, me personally, that's a bad thing. But I guess a lot of money gets made on the online marketplace now.
Yeah.
So, if they have to sacrifice the single player campaign, they'll do it. I think that's a mistake because
You'll still make money if you get expansions for a
Yeah.
campaign.
you will.
But it's like really, obviously they've went for multiplayer and they've kept on expanding it. So honestly,
No.
if you do have it, it'll keep you going, won't it?
I suppose it's got
The
got a community
countless-
there that's still going some 7 years
Yeah.
or so later.
The countless modes as well. And
The
like,
bad point of that though is we might not see GTA 6 for another 10 years. That's the downside of.
Yeah, but if we don't see it for another 10 years, couldn't that mean that it has technical advances further then?
Well, obviously, but
And it could be a
But-
really great
but
game.
it's not going to take another 10 years because they're working really hard on it. It's going to take another 10 years because they don't care about it. I think that's the
Could be, but
that's the strength and the flaw
there's
in
no
GTA
other
5.
way to tell apart from when it does happen.
Well, I think that's enough. GTA 5. I think everyone knows what GTA
Yeah.
5 is. Another huge game, and PlayStation exclusive. From 2013, The Last of Us.
Never played it.
Oh, well, I have, you see. I'm
Was-
surprised you haven't played it. This is widely regarded as possibly the greatest game of that generation, the PS3, Xbox 360.
And it's on PS4 as well, isn't it?
It is now. They did remaster it. The the game, it's...
So potentially it could be something that I could eventually get around to
Well,
at
you
some
should.
point.
You should. It's a brilliant game. Although those bloody clickers. Ugh. Anyway, as well as being just a great game, it's got a brilliant narrative to it as well.
Isn't there a second one as well? That's out.
Well, there's one just about to come out. There was sort of an expansion
Yeah.
left behind. But we're talking about the first game
Yeah, the
here.
first.
Like I say, it was, I think, widely regarded as the greatest game of that generation. It was, for me, it was a bloody brilliant zombie game. Although technically not so much a zombie game as a post-apocalyptic game, but you know what I mean.
Like a survival.
And the mechanic with the two characters and trying to get two characters through as opposed to just going
Just the one.
gung ho yourself.
Yeah.
That kind of worked for me. So that's another one that's got to be in the running. This one I think I'll leave a little bit talking to you now. Bioshock Infinite.
Now, this one is actually brilliant. I believe I played... This was the first one I played through fully as well, I believe.
I think it was.
In the Bioshock series. And I actually do like the mechanic of the grappling hook, which is sort of makes sense, but sort of doesn't, but it just works in a way.
I never played the game, but I watched you play it, and I kind of liked the whole steampunk setting.
Yeah, it was
of
like the floating city
Aye.
that you were on, and it is actually really good. And obviously, you do have to go through with Elizabeth, and obviously that just makes it sort of harder, but because obviously you do also have some choices through the game, but not as morality based as some other games I've been through on this decade. But all in all, a great show that I'd actually recommend quite wildly.
No, that's certainly another one that's in the running.
Yeah.
Return of a massive franchise. The reboot of Tomb Raider.
Now I like this one. I really do.
I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I love the game, but
You don't think it's that much of a Tomb Raider?
it's not a Tomb Raider game. It's a. Do you know what it should have been? They should have put Indiana Jones in it, and then it would have been just wonderful. I think. I know why they got. Obviously, they had Square Enix had the Tomb Raider IP license, and they wanted to use that to sell the game. But it's not a Tomb Raider game. It's a good game for what it is, but that's the thing that always. It's that
little drawback for you.
It's almost like there's a little bit of deception there.
But I do thoroughly enjoy it, and there is
Oh,
obviously three in the series, isn't there?
As a swashbuckling survival adventure game, it's brilliant.
I absolutely love it. I believe the mechanics in it is really good. Obviously, you can go through with just your guns, or you can go in with bow and arrow stealthily and everything. It's actually just really good.
The other thing that really is like a stumbling block for me is that they make such a big thing about the first time Lara ever kills someone and how hard it is for her, and then spends the rest of the game killing another 7 million people without even thinking about it. There's little things that let it down as a Tomb Raider game, but swashbuckling adventure, absolutely brilliant. Another one that you really enjoyed this year was Injustice: Gods Among Us.
Now this is the first one in the series. Now, I really do enjoy this one. I don't really get sometimes, obviously with newer fighting games, they tend to have a story to them, which I get, and it works quite well. But just it's like there's too many cutscenes and there's not enough fights, I believe, in them. But apart from, if you can look aside that, the fighting game of just it being a DC universe by NetherRealm, who made Mortal Kombat, which actually comes into it somehow because they made Scorpion into it as a DLC character.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it was a Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah, it was a Mortal Kombat game, but with DC characters.
I kind of think that when they made this, there was ideas that they wanted to throw into the Mortal Kombat game, but that
This
being
wouldn't work.
their flagship franchise, they wanted to test it on a throwaway game first.
Yeah, obviously there being a second one out now.
There
isn't
is, aye. And I know that you enjoyed them.
I enjoy both of them.
I didn't
And
play that much of them, I have to say. But what I did play, it was quite
I
enjoyable.
would say I'd enjoy the second one better, but the first one is still really good.
Well, another one of the massive hitters here,
And another one that I haven't played.
Dota 2.
Oh,
No, you haven't played Dota 2.
No,
But then again, I don't think you've played any MOBAs either.
no, I don't believe so.
But again, I mean, this is one that just has blown up and stayed massive because of the competitive esports scene. For those that don't know, when you're playing these online battle arena games, you play two teams against each other. You've got something to defend, something to take, and there's a big mass battle happens. There's no story required for these. It's just
One that you can play and just enjoy.
I mean, I remember way back in I mean, it predates the last decade. The first time that I saw one of these MOBA games was Fat Princess, and
I have played that one.
and I just loved it. Dota 2 is just a massive update and rebalancing of that style of game. The formula is just perfected now, which is why it's such a massive esports title.
Nothing much else to say.
There really isn't. It's just a brilliant game that came along at the right time.
And yeah, it's still big to this day.
It absolutely is. A smaller game that came out this year that I particularly liked was Brothers.
No, I haven't played Brothers either. See, that this year is one where I've played some of them, I haven't played all of them.
Well, Brothers was a great game because you controlled two characters. The title of Brothers, but the way you controlled them both at the same time with two analog sticks.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Well, you say that, but actually, do you know what? It was just a brilliant game. It certainly helped that they put a bit of thought into the storyline, and
So it kind of made you want to play it, even though...
absolutely, it was something completely different. The story was brilliant. The graphics were great for what amounts to a small indie game. Loved every bit of it. Absolutely loved every bit of it. I don't know if there's anything bad that I can say about the game. It's something that everyone should experience because I don't think there's another game like it.
Well, I haven't, so there you go.
So we had that one. What else did we have this year? Anyone who likes JRPGs surely remembers Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. That's a great game.
Never played it.
As was in a cel shaded anime graphic JRPG. Quite frankly, for me, it comes close to getting Game of the Decade, just for our little Welsh friend, Mr. Drippy.
See, I don't know who Mr. Drippy is, but
See, yeah, this is the game that you should go back and
I
play.
should. I really should play most of these
As a
games.
JRPG, it's actually, got some pretty solid combat and exploration. The graphic style, it's like you're playing an anime cartoon. It got just about everything right, and was quite rightly massively praised at the time by everyone who played it. If you did play it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And like I say, little Welsh friend. I mean, what could be better? Um,
No.
it was a game that got you as well. Although it was a proper RPG story that had, but I mean, proper poignant moments in it. But I suppose that's par for the course for a really good game.
Yes, it is indeed.
Any other games that came out this year that you might like?
Dead Rising 3.
See, didn't play Dead Rising. I'd say I think Dead Rising 2 was on one of our previous.
Yes, it was.
And I'd say
indeed.
I don't know why I haven't played them because I love zombie games, but you played this one, I haven't, so
I
take it
haven't
away.
played so much of it, but this one I believe, instead of being a photographer, which you were in the first one, a motorbike enthusiast, which you were in the second one, this one you're just a mechanic in the third one. But it is just as crazy and as hectic as the first and second. This time, instead of being confined to like a mall or something, you're in a massive city that you can just go around, and I believe you can also get in vehicles in this one, like more than what you could in the originals.
So it's sounding to me it's just more of the same, but with some technical advances.
Yeah, it's that, but just with a different story and another spin on it. But there's nothing else much to say about
But
it.
you've still
It's
got
really good.
you still put together the crazy weapons. and
Yes,
all
you
that.
still put together the crazy weapons and everything, and yeah, there's nothing much else to say.
Well, I think we'll talk about one more game, and then we'll start thinking about
What we have to put through as
Put
the
through.
four.
Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds.
Legend of Zelda is massive, and
It is,
I
and
haven't played this one.
This one,
Oh, I haven't played many Legend of Zeldas. Oh,
this one is sort of this is the sequel. I don't know if it's officially a sequel, but it's kind of the sequel to Link to the Past. So you're talking like 20 years or something between those two games.
and obviously
Quite-
Legend of Zelda games come in between.
Well, there is. It was. I don't know if it was a sequel or whether it was just like a
standalone
sort
story.
of an homage to Link to the Past. I'll be honest, Link to the Past I didn't play a huge amount of. But it's very, 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 very fondly remembered. It's back on the Super Nintendo that first came out. And this coming out on the 3DS meant that actually technically the hardware used was quite similar. 3DS is a little bit superior to the Super Nintendo, but not a lot.
Which is kind of surprising when you think of how many consoles had came in between them.
I know, but you're going from a home console to a handheld.
Yeah.
And at a point
Obviously,
when
handhelds don't have as much.
and Nintendo
room.
are quite happy to have underpowered systems, where they went with the Super Nintendo. So it's not that surprising that they're quite similarly spec'd. The game itself plays exactly like the original. It's like a love letter to those old 16-bit Zelda games, and this one just kind of came out of nowhere. No one really expected this kind of Zelda game to come out. It did, and it was just universally loved, I think.
Well, that is obviously the last one for us just talking. Now,
So we're going to pick 4 for you to vote on the end card at the end of the video.
now each of us, both of us have one that neither of us can dispute, and then we have to agree on 2, which obviously you will then cast your vote on at the end. So, what's your one that you're going to put through without me arguing?
I think I'm going to put Brothers in.
Well, obviously I can't dispute that.
I loved it. I've never played anything like it before or since. I tell you what, you have played quite recently. We played A Way Out. Now that's a 2-player. Brothers was like a 1-player of that, where you had 2 characters. And brilliant game.
Well, I'm probably going to... see, it's hard because there's a few that I want to put through, but I can't.
Hurry up and choose.
I'm going to put through the Tomb Raider reboot.
Tomb Raider reboot.
Yeah, I just love it.
So now we have to agree on another 2. I think we can both agree
GTA 5.
GTA 5 has to go.
Yeah,
So
GTA 5 just because of how
GTA
big
5.
it still is and how it just has.
And if I'm honest, I think the next choice is one of three. Either The Last of Us, Dota 2, or possibly Ni no Kuni.
Now, I haven't played Last of Us or Ni no Kuni or Dota 2, but just for what it is by itself, I believe Dota 2 should go through because of how big it is.
Okay, then Dota 2 it is. So that's the four that you'll have a choice of on the end card at the end of the video. Please click through to register your vote. And as we said at the beginning of this video, if you haven't already voted it on our 2010, 2011,
2012,
2012
then go
list,
back and cast your vote for that.
please do that.
Also share these videos so that more people can cast a vote and we can get a larger sample of people voting, so we know that is definitively the viewers' best game of the decade.
Also, if you haven't already, if this is your first time, please subscribe to the channel and you'll get
a prompt to turn on the notification bell so that you do get notified when we do the 2014 and other videos, so on and so forth.
Okay. So please do, as I said, vote on the end card.
And if you have enjoyed us just going through these games and telling a bit of backstory if we've played them, if we haven't, or if we know any information, then just like the video.
But hopefully we'll see you again soon for
The 2014
video, and we'll see you then.